That was foolish. That was foolishness. Don't pay me any mind. I'm fucking retarded. Oh shit. I'm sorry. Well, actually, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. Well, hopefully you're ready for a terrifyingly terrible tale of terror. Don't pay me any mind, folks. I'm guilty of smoking a lot of weed. It keeps me sane at times. And at other times, it helps to fuel the insanity. The insanity which is telling me I must drop some more of this stupid, hot fucking shit in my mouth. Oh, it burns. It burns. Oh. I'm just joking. Now listen, actually it does burn. It burns a lot. I cannot believe that I just took like a little drop, right? Just now, just a little drop. And I did a whole fucking dropper of that shit. Let me tell you what was going through my mind. The trip that I went through. It was fucking mind-boggling. Now, you guys remember the story I told you about Angry Bear and Quarantine Sauce. They're joining forces with McNasty's League of Hate. Let me tell you how Sauce Calgary came about. Mr. McNasty was traversing the land, spreading his hate everywhere he was going. You know, he has this hat of hate. It's just special power. He reaches into this hat, and from it he pulls the most putrid of hate. He flings his hate everywhere. He flings it like monkeys fling shit. Splashes on your face. And you just start hating shit. You know, you hate your job all of a sudden. Everything like flip-flops. It's almost like Bizarro shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you loved it, you hate it. If you hate it, you love it. Like, let's say you hate drugs, right? You'll love drugs. And let's say you love your wife. Then you'll hate that bitch. You're like, fuck you, you fucking bitch. I fucking hate you. Yeah, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting this way? And then Mr. McNasty won't splash her with the hate because then you'll both hate each other and then it'll balance itself back out. So, you know. He's a dick like that. Now check this out, right? What makes it worse, she had been looking for someone to balance out his hate. He knew that both forces together would be able to project his hatred in such a pure form that would be unstoppable. He had heard of this Calgary of Sauce. Sauce Calgary was her name. Miss Calgary, he called her. Ouch. That was my fucking finger. Anyway. He found her in Calgary, obviously. I'm going to assume where she's from since Sauce to Calgary is her name. Anyhow, yes, Sauce to Calgary. He found her. Told her his plans. She said, yes, I agree with you. I'm tired of everybody making fun of me for wanting to be happy, drinking beer. Her special power, obviously, was you could never get her drunk because she was always drunk. It was a special drunkenness that only she had. And she didn't seem drunk at all, right? Never. But she, too, had a special hot sauce. It was a special hot sauce. It was a hot sauce that caused drunkenness upon a drop. This hot sauce would be used many times for them to slip into their layers, or the layers of others, more than likely, because they wouldn't have to sneak into their own. It belongs to them. But that's not the point. Shut the fuck up and stop asking questions that have nothing to do with the fucking story I'm trying to tell about the origins of said characters. Now, you want to know how Sauce Calgary came about, you want me to give you some weak ass shit. Well, maybe I will give you some weak ass shit, you just have to learn about it later. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, you know he's met her, and she says, hey, listen. I heard of this person. She'll compliment your hatred with her direct realness. She shoots straight. He said, sounds like a Southern belle. Yes, they call her Jezzy. He said, where is this Jezzy? We must find her. Find her now, he said. Sauce Calgary went off. Sauced as she was. Sauced, I mean completely. He knew that only she, with her saucedness, would be able to find anything. Because in order to find Jezzy, you had to be drunk, but sober, all at the same time. It was a strange thing that only Sauce Calgary, only she had the power to do this. She found Jezzy and brought her back to Mr. McNasty. They had a discussion in the McNasty hat, which is really like a big building, but he liked calling it the McNasty hat, so that's what they called it. Nobody argued with him, and it was pointless. It was fucking pointless. This guy was gonna have his way one way or another. Well, anyway, Jezzy made mention of another who would be willing to join the League of Hate. Chili Man Nick was mentioned. She said what he could do with Chili's was unimaginable and unmatchable by anybody. Unimaginable and unmatchable by any. That's what I meant to fucking say before my mouth got all jumbled up. Now I want you to know something. I'm not fucking playing around. I'm dead goddamn serious when I tell you that the thing that this guy did with these chili peppers was amazing. It was almost like a power like a Magneto, except it was with chili peppers. He's like, could make the capsaicin burst forth from their pods, but without killing the pods. It was amazing. And capsaicin would fill the air. That's exactly what it was. He didn't control the pods themselves, but it was the capsaicin. He controlled capsaicin fields. And imagine, you're walking around and just like something stronger than tincture just starts burning you. It was terrible. And then people would love him for it because they loved that endorphin rush. So he would have minions at his command. Plus, the power of burning the fucking shit out of you with just enough capsaicin not to let you get that rush, but only the minions would get the rush. Just long enough to keep him going. It was the finding of Chili Man Nick that led us to the 460. Now this guy, well, he was just what we needed. He was the brute. Bang the heads out of anybody that got in our way. It's quite lovely. Mr. McNasty would say, hey, 460. We've got a couple of guys over here who think, things are going to go their way. Well, in his wonderful accent of Guy Ritchie-esqueness, which is, what I know of accents from UK. It's either YouTube or movies I've seen. I'm sorry, guys. I'm being 100% honest. And you guys are teaching me a lot, so thank you very much. Because Chili Man Nick, you and the 460 do not sound anything alike. Like, I wouldn't even know you guys were in the same fucking country. Deadass. But that's not the fucking point of the goddamn fucking story, now is it? No, it's about how the 460 was about to bash the heads of some people when they broke into the chemical lab that held the capsaicin tincture made by Stephen Pulley. It was just this tincture, which Omen G had tested in the lab, not knowing what he was getting himself into. He tested the tincture. This tincture went straight to his brain. It was this moment which allowed the forces that be spring forth from his head, starting legions. Yes, McNasty's legion was already begun. Omen G schemes, Mr. Lisby, Dr. Fingers, all would be choosing their minions soon. And their stories will be told in the same manner as this. Something to entertain the chili heads at night who are chasing the capsaicin high that they can no longer find. That, my friends, that is the origin. It's the origin of those who seek the knowledge. Seek the knowledge. It's not 12 o'clock. But who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Now, you can barely see me anyway, so you really need to see my face? You need to see my face? You don't need to see my face. No one needs to see my face. It's darkness. Darkness, I'll tell you. That's all you need. It's doing this shit again. I did this last time. I don't like when it does that. It makes me angry when it does that. There's no point in it. You know? I don't really want to hold the fucking phone. What's the point in holding the phone? It's fucking story time. God damn it. It's story time. As far as I'm concerned, there's enough fucking battery here. So I'm going to put this over here where it needs to be. Hopefully, y'all will hear what I'm saying. And if you can't, then, you know, say you can't. But let's move on with the story, shall we? Now, I like to spread the wealth around. I like everybody to get a chance to feel equally shitted on and told stories about. So, we're going to shift gears here
Experience the perfectly
and listen to this fucking stupid ass commercial for a hot minute.
Excellence.
And we're going to skip it because here's where we're going, folks. We're going where we usually go, where I like to go. Original music by Peter D. Helland, or B, whatever. Who fucking cares? But what I want to tell you is what you need to know about those things that you need to know about. And what you need to know about those things is this. They exist. Whatever it is that you think exists, it exists. We're going to leave it at that. All right? We're going to leave it at that in a nutshell. Now, let me tell you about something that's going on around the world. Something that you didn't even know existed, but it exists. It exists because I've seen the dangers of it. I've seen the evil that lurks in men. I've seen it with my own eyes, and it's a terrible thing. You couldn't imagine the evil I've seen, but I've seen it. I sometimes wonder, often, very often, I wonder if we know what it is in our minds that we think. And I know we don't. So I stop wondering about it pretty quickly. You know what I'm saying? I say to myself, what the fuck is the point of even thinking about that shit? And it's like, fuck that shit. I'm not gonna think about that shit. You know, there's aliens. I don't think they want to probe butts as much as other people think they want to probe butts. I think what it is that they want the aliens to probe their butts. So they talk about butt probing. But I've met aliens. I've met tons of them. And you know what? Hanging out with them, they've never said anything about probing butts. Now, what they do ask me about, a lot of the time, and it gets annoying after a while, you know, it's like where the good butt is and shit. And I'm thinking to myself, these motherfuckers have spaceships, right? They have spaceships. They're flying around, you know, people are going crazy. Area 51, motherfucking spaceships and shit. What the fuck are we gonna do? Yeah. Well, you know, I'm saying to his ass, dude, you're in spaceships. You should know where the most stellar fucking bud in the galaxy is. Unless, of course, you're not around here. Well, you know, he told me at this point in time that they were not from around here. And I'm like, well, see, that's kind of what I thought. You guys are from the ocean, aren't you? And he's like, nope, we're not from the ocean either. We're from like this dimensional rift. We kind of got lost. The rift is closed. It shifts every so 100 years. And we've kind of like started fucking like rabbits in your celestial rings, other planets, blah, stuff you wouldn't understand, yada. I'm like, gotcha, don't really care about the whole background story about that shit. He didn't really want to go into it. I didn't blame him. I was happy about it. You know, who wants to hear this? You know, that's how I felt. I just kind of wanted to know how long they planned on being here and exactly what it was that they were up to. At which point he told me, you know, it was all about resources, yada. They wanted to take them, kill people, human beings, dead, species, extinction, all that stuff. You know, but we're chilling. You know, me and him don't really have any problems with each other. It's unfortunate. He's like, yeah, you know, tomorrow we're gonna have to kill all of you. And you're pretty cool. You know, you can somehow chill out with us. It'd be cool, but I can't see you turning your back on your entire species. Like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Like, seriously, I'm out. I got a couple of kids. As long as they can come with me, I'm pretty cool with that. And he made arrangements, got on a little spaceship, flew away. It was fun, you know, living on these other planets, watched the Earth get destroyed. Many humans died, you know, some went underground. We told them where they went. They eradicated them and all that shit. You know, kind of gave them the whole scoop and skinny on human, you know, survival tactics. Works out in our best interest. Now, see, the thing was, you guys saying, I'm fucked up, I turned my back on humans. No. See, you don't know what was going on in background that we were talking about. There's this whole fucking thing where we were really trying to work with the aliens. Well, they were trying to work with us, let's just put it that way. Because they didn't really have to. They had better technology than we did. And they could have just eradicated us like they did in the end anyway. But, you know, they kind of said, hey, listen, let's work this out. You guys don't really give two fucks about your water. You're polluting the fucking shit out of it to the point where you can't drink it anyway. How about, here's the thing, boom. We clean up all the fucking polluted water, and you allow us to use half of what we clean for our own purposes. And the other half is clean water for you people. You know, your species of life on the planet come back to life, you know, things are good, and all that stuff. Well, obviously, you know, human beings didn't want to go with that particular mode of things and said, fuck that. You can kiss our asses. So the eradication of man began. And it was over pretty quickly. Now, you know, coming back to the planet, they had done what they wanted to do. Some of us were allowed to live amongst them that they saw fit to live. It was not like I was the only human being that chose this. It's just that they would have rather done it on a much larger scale. They felt kind of fucking bad about having to kill everybody. And, you know, it was what it was. It was what it was. Now, during this whole entire event shift of things, us now just becoming the past most smartest things that we thought were on the planet, not smart anymore. Aliens kind of started noticing that. They started hanging out with the dolphins and, you know, other species, because they, being aliens, had the technology to be able to communicate with, you know, other shit, which fucked it up for us. Because, you know, we kind of started feeling left out of shit. It's like, wait, hold up, you know, why aren't you guys, you know, chilling with us? Thought you're cool. You know, being a human being, started getting jealous. We didn't like the slight that we felt for not being able to be, you know, treated the way we felt we needed to be treated. And it was this that, you know, we decided that we were gonna take our planet back. Now, how we intended to do this, well, we really didn't. We just wanted to take our planet back. It's not like we could. Kind of just live with the whole fact that we sold out. It was no longer our planet. That was that. And it was never gonna be our planet again. And we learned to live with it. Now, my chest. My chest. I feel a coughing pain in my chest. That's my chest. They call him Mr. McNasty. He comes out in the middle of the night and says things to people and it hurts them. Their feelings. Don't give a fuck. You know, I'm actually hungry. And, you know, I tried everything I could to help Billy Blank save his fucking noodles. And he did nothing at all to help his own noodles. And, you know, if I was noodles, well, I have a story for you, Billy Blank. I have a story just for you. It's called Night of the Noodles. It's a special one. It was a young boy. Grew up in wherever he grew up. Who cares? It doesn't matter. You know, he grew up there, and that's all you need to know is he grew up there. Now, this little fuck, skateboarder as he was, and if you're not a skateboarder, too bad. You are in my goddamn fucking story, Billy, and it's my story, so that's what you are. You're a fucking skateboarder. You're an asshole skateboarder, too. You know, you're skateboarding around, you're shredding and doing all that shit, tricks on people's lawns, and just being a general dick. You know, you go into the fucking gas station, convenience stores, wherever you go, and you fucking buy out their goddamn noodles. You buy out their noodles. You buy all of them for no reason. Because you like take packets of the seasoning from one noodle pack and you put it in with one pack of noodles, so you have like double the seasoning and shit, and then you have these noodles that you just toss out because, oh, there's no seasoning pack. It's like, no fucking shit, Sherlock. You fucking took noodle pack seasoning thing from the other noodles and you put it in those noodles. So now that noodle's seasonless and you're like fucking throwing them out instead of just making some new seasoning for it, asshole. Well, your noodles called me. They called me. See, it wasn't kidnapping. I was just gonna try to get paid for snatching up your noodles, and we were gonna share the money with each other. But your noodles called me and said, hey, Omen, please help us. We know you have a true love for noodles. A true love for noodles that spans time and all things. Unconditional love for us. You would never take a sauce packet from one noodle and mix it with the other noodle sauce packet, would you? No, of course not. I would add extra seasonings to you and make you feel even better. Noodles, I love you. All this love affair went on for eons, days, weeks, months, years. Noodles and I and Noodles. And then all of a sudden I noticed Noodles weren't coming home on time like they were supposed to. I was a bit suspicious. Hey, Noodles, what's going on? You're a little late tonight. I've been sitting here waiting for you. I've been waiting to devour your delicious ramenness. Where have you been? You look a little, I don't know, not yourself. Have you been seeing someone else? Noodles assured me that I was out of my mind. I was the only mouth for her. I turned the light on. I noticed that she was a little wet. Like she had maybe been standing over a steaming pot, teasing herself with potentially being cooked al dente. Oh yeah, I noticed. I saw the little glisten at the bottom corner of her cubicle noodle self. I said, why don't you go upstairs and run a bath? A nice hot one. She looked at me. I said, yeah, a nice hot one with bubbles. I'll be right up. I waited until I heard her running water. I knew she wouldn't hear me preparing a pot of water. Oh, a nice hot pot. Put a little butter in it, some curry, hot peppers, basil, crushed red pepper with red pepper powder, a drop of tincture. Yeah. I waited until she jumped in the tub, cracked the door open. Splash! I threw those fucking... The fuck is this shit? Fucking care about this? What is this nonsense? Don't need you interrupting me. It's pointless. I don't understand it. It makes me angry. But that's not the point. The point is this. The point is this. She was in the noodles. Water cooking, tincture boiling. Delicious. I ate her, and I found out exactly who it was she had been talking to. I found out who she was talking to. Billy fucking Blank. That son of a bitch. He thought he was slick. That's what I say, Billy. Fuck you. You know. He learned the hard way. He learned the hard way. Well, he's not supposed to fuck with my noodles. Now, the rest of your, now my noodles, said I can eat them anytime I want. I think I'm hungry, Billy. I think I'm hungry. A variety of them are so fucking good. Mushroom pho. I think he's the one I'll eat next. Rice noodles. That's why I said all noodles. Anyway, you know, after that devastating noodle relationship, I vowed never to give my heart to one noodle again. Not just ramen. I want all of the noodles. All of them. Sesame noodles. And egg noodles. All noodles. Spicy. Spicier. Spiciest. So spicy it makes no sense. I want all of them. Again, a crusade for noodles. Crusade for them. I wasn't fucking around. I wanted every noodle in the world. I created a fortress. Spent my entire fortune. I hunted down the makers of noodles everywhere and I imprisoned them. Once I learned their recipes, I chopped their heads off and hollowed them out. I ate noodles out of them. I ate noodles out of their noodles. Isn't that funny? Probably not to you, but who cares? I don't give a fuck. You don't have to laugh about it. I'm laughing about it. In my head, I'm laughing out loud. Or not. Maybe it's not out loud. Maybe it's... Who fucking cares? Why are you getting hung up on the small details? I want some fucking noodles, and that's all that matters. And for some strange reason, I want more of that tincture. Why'd you do that, Stephen Pulley? Yeah, I'm angry. I'm angry now. I'm angry in ways that make me want to find you on your ranch. I wonder if you live on a ranch. Whether you do or don't, I know you have really beautiful views of mountainous plains, or plains with mountains, if that's a thing. And if it's not, well, it should be. And it probably is. Either way, I want to look out and see nothing as far as my eyes can see. And then you'll be there. And I'll slap your face. And then squirt your tincture in your eyeballs. Because you knew it was going to destroy my face. And why didn't you think? Why didn't you think that I was going to fucking do a whole dropper, Steven? Huh, Steven? You prefer Steven or Steve? I'd like to know. Which one is it? Steven or Steve? I'm gonna call you asshole Pulley. Pulley asshole. You're fucking just the meanest person ever. That was a prank beyond pranks. And I have the perfect one for you. I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna get you back. I don't know how yet. I'll figure it out. And it's gonna be marvelous. It's gonna be marvelous because I'm gonna somehow figure out a way to record it. Yeah. This is what's gonna happen, Mr. Pulley. I'm gonna find out exactly where you live. I know this address on this box isn't your real address. It's probably like, you know, a P.O. box or some friend's house so that when you get hate mail and bombs that probably come very often, you know, you just let your friend's house get blown up multiple times. They keep fixing it and not knowing what the fuck's going on. FBI's not knowing. It's like, like alias. And you're just like, I don't know who Stephen Pulley is. Who the fuck is Stephen Pulley? I don't know that guy. Yeah, you know, you're a fucked up guy for doing that to him. But hey, it is what it is. I can't judge you for that, but I'm going to find you when I get there. I'm going to call you and say, hey, Steve, how's it going? Got some tincture. I made some for you. Would you like me to send it to you? You're gonna, yeah, sure. And you're gonna have a sense of that address that you gave me. I'm gonna see you go pick up your little fucking package and shit. Your friend's burnt out rubble house frame basement thing that's left. And I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna get into a snowmobile. I'm gonna go when it's snowing, so you can't see me. I'm gonna put on all white and put a white mask on my face, white gloves. I'm gonna get on a white snowmobile. And it's gonna be a stealth one like the military uses. It doesn't make any noise, right? Bam. And I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna follow you. Just far enough behind you that you don't see me. Unless you're trained militarily and shit, and when someone's following you. Or maybe you have tripwires or a minefield, which I hope you don't. But just in case, I'll put a mine thing on the front of the snowmobile so it doesn't blow me up. Or I'll just make sure I follow right behind you. Unless, of course, you have some radio detonated ones and you know I'm there and then you'll blow me up. But let's just pretend, for the sake of argument, that I circumvent all your defenses. Right, Mr. Pulley? Okay? Right? And you're sitting in your lair, sitting there, ha ha ha. You're talking over things with Mr. McNasty because you guys are part of your own leagues. But you come together from time to time to talk and, talk shit about me. And say, hey, fuck that Omen guy because, fuck him. He's an asshole. I'm gave him his poison. He'll be addicted to it. He'll need to get it from me. And I'll only be able to get it from me. He'll never be able to get it anywhere else. Ha, ha, ha. Douche. I will recruit my fighters against you, Stephen Pulley. You better find yours. I suggest you find 2 or 3. I've already got 2 or 3 of mine. I actually have 5 in mind. Ha! Oh, God. Listen. Listen, Mr. Pulley. I'm about to stop this. The Instagram one. I'm gonna, keep doing the YouTube one. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? And that's what it is. And that's how it's gonna be. Because that's how I want it to be. Now, in a minute, right? I don't know what it is I really am gonna do. But I know there's 2 things that's going on right now. Right? One thing is I am hungry. So I'm definitely gonna get up and make some fucking noodles. The other thing though is I want something sweet. Maybe cinnamon toast. Every time I hear this, I think about all the evil shit that could happen. You know what I'm saying? Has anybody ever thought about it? Truthfully, the crazy shit that could happen if, the fictional worlds we create in our minds, or in movies and shit, actually existed in reality. That's another one of the things that I'm curious about. Why, there's things where they are. It's craziness. I look at it like this. What if, right? What if? Let's just imagine this scenario. You woke up, right? And you weren't you. You weren't yourself anymore. You were some strange creature. Not an actual creature, but I'm high as shit, man. I have absolutely no idea where my brain is going right now. So I'm just gonna talk about whatever fucking comes to mind. And the first thing that just came to mind was vegans. Alright, since I don't know any vegans personally, I would like to do vegan Q&A. If there's a vegan in the audience, if there's a such thing, if I even have an audience, right? Like, fuck if there's one in there. If I even have an audience and there is a vegan within it, would you please tell me a couple of things? Number one. And I've asked this question before, but I'm going to continue to ask it because now I keep seeing this thing called impossible meat, okay? And here's the thing. It's cool. I get your fucking gimmick about it being impossible meat, right? Because it's not possible for it to be meat because it's not meat. So I wonder, and you can tell me yes or no, but I want to know honestly, if you guys went to whoever you sold this to and asked at first, because you were probably fucking excited about it and thought it was hilarious. I want to know if you ran up into your company or whatever and said, hey, instead of calling it impossible meat, how about we call it I can't believe it's not meat? And they fucking slapped the shit out of you. It was like, yo, if you don't get the fuck out of here with that stupid bullshit idea, you're fired. You know, you got mad. You started your own little company. Like, corporate assholes. I'll come up with something better than that. I can't believe it's not me. And my thing is, why do we even have to believe it's anything close to meat? Why can't you just be happy eating your plant-based shit? Like, explain to me this. Because this is the thing I would like explained to me, right? You know. And once again, people, like I said, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just curious. Things I'm curious about. I'm telling to the people on YouTube, and YouTube people, I'm talking to people on Instagram. But I'm curious. Why? If you don't want meat, if you don't believe in eating meat, if you would never eat meat, why do you make things that are reminiscent of or in replication of meat? Like, what is the purpose? Because I'm not gonna get some fucking ground beef and make it the shape of a carrot or a string bean and make like meat-based. Could you imagine like meat-based fucking vegetables? What the fuck is the point? And for vegetarians who want, you understand what I'm saying? Is what I'm saying making any fucking sense to people? Because that is a curiosity of mine, one which I think deserves answers. It deserves answers. I want answers to all these fucking questions I'm asking people. And I'm talking to anybody who happens to pop in here and view my video. If you have an answer to a question that I'm asking, please, by all means, answer it for me, because I'm legit curious as to why you would do that. If I don't eat fish, I don't want you to make me some plant-based fish. If I don't eat crab, I don't want imitation crab. I don't want it if I don't want it. Alright? Like, okay, another really fucked up analogy, but let's take it there. Let's Let's go straight for the jugular on how retarded and redonkulous this shit is that you're doing. Okay? We're gonna take it so far into the ground and with disgustingness that it's what it is. Okay? It's what it is. Okay, now you want to represent meat, you know, with your plant-based products. Okay, What if women went around representing vaginas with inside-out penises, and somehow they managed to like suck their dicks in, and you know they went around tricking you with penises that weren't really penises. They were They were penis-based vaginas. Now, if you don't want penises, right? Why would you? Oh no, you don't want vaginas. Why would you want? You know what? See, this is the whole thing. I'm confusing myself with the analogy because the thing in which it's based off of makes no sense. Makes no sense. You don't want meat, so why the fuck are you making shit to resemble or even taste like meat? Why? You're not going to convince me that it's meat. You know why? Because I know it's not meat. You already told me it's not. I don't want it. You're not going to... What are they doing? Is this the prelude to Solvent Green? Next thing you know, it's not even fucking plant-based. It's fucking cockroaches ground up like in Snowpiercer. Nasty globs of shit. Except they're not gonna make it look like that. I mean, all those spam will probably end up being like top shelf shit. And Twinkies will be the best dessert you've ever had. The fuck a pound cake. You'll be happy with whatever the fuck you can get. Exactly what it'll be. You'll be sitting there mad as fuck about it at first. And they'll brainwash you into believing that, you know, everything else is bullshit. Tincture guys will be out in the wildernesses trying to press their shit out like fucking rocks, trying to grow things where you can't grow things. Peppers will probably disappear from the earth because you won't be able to do the things that you need to do. At least they won't be readily available where people want them. And they'll seek out people with this tincture. They'll scour the earth for it. They'll be like, I must have it. Small vials like the one I have sitting right here will go for, oh God, they'll go for hundreds of dollars. Hundreds of dollars people will be paying. And probably more than that. It'll be thousands. They'll be trading their firstborn children. They'll be, oh God. They'll be trading their firstborn children for it. Because the high will be so great. The heat, the burn. I decided that I hadn't had enough. Been dropping 2, 3, and 4 drops here and there for the past few hours. It's only 11:28 and I feel like I'm tired. And I slept quite a great deal today. Noodles! Yes, that's what I'm gonna have right now. Yeah, you see me. Have to be happy with what we have. Now, oh, I have a lot of noodles. Oh shit. I didn't realize I still had all these noodles. Well, it looks like I'll be eating these noodles, folks. Taste of Asia. Miso chicken flavor, spicy miso ramen. La, 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 la. people, I was seriously thinking about I was seriously thinking about I don't know what I was seriously thinking about anymore. That's the problem. It must not have been that important if I can't remember. Superpowers activate. Like, hold on a second, man. Like, this is the type of shit that pisses me off. When you want it to be the way you want it to be, things don't want it to be the way you want it to be. But then when you don't want it to be a certain way, it is that way. Does that make sense, people? Am I making sense? I'm probably not making a whole hell of a lot of sense. Which, you know, I get it. See, one of the most wonderful things about living is that the weather changes. The weather changes rather rapidly, so you know it goes from being cold to hot, cold, relatively. Who the fuck is this? There's no post. Post. Water's boiling, so just calm down. Hush. That looks like fun. My back is itching badly. I think I might have rubbed up against some goddamn. What do you call that stuff? Poison ivy? I don't want to hear nothing from nobody about no bullshit about nothing. That's the way. If you wanna burn the fuck out of your fucking face, that's how you do it. Do it that way. With adding tincture, not not that other shit. Which, you know what I'm saying? I'm just not saying it right now because I'm doing something. And if you don't like it, you can not watch me. People annoy me. And my debit cards. I must find it. It's the most important one. Tincture, get away from me. I don't want to see you anymore. You have ruined my life with your damn goodness. The burn is something I can't explain. I won't explain it. I won't. What else am I curious about? Let's see. I'm curious as to. I hate that numb tongue feeling, but at least it's naturally that way. It's not from some bullshit, acidic acid. Alright, now. That'd be good. It's not good. Anyway, what if this happened, right? Let's say people just decided, you know what, money sucks. You know, like, we don't care about money. We're going to continue to do the same work we did before. And we're just not going to fucking do it for money. We're not going to pay bills. But we're going to go to work. We're just not paying bills. You know? We're not paying bills. We're not turning off our lights. The guy is not going to do it. He's like, fuck this. I'm not shutting nobody else's lights off. Like, fuck that shit. I don't care if it's my job. You know, don't pay me. Don't try to shut my lights off. Right? Why, just because there's money, do these things have to stop happening? That's all I want to know. Like, why? Like, all right, boom. Let's say we lived in this hypothetical city, right? Hypothetical place. Let's just say that it has its own means of making power, right? Let's say it's solar power, right? But somebody has to maintain, you know, the grid, per se. Now, let's say there's only 10 houses. Each one of those houses has inverters. There's a special blah, blah, blah. Now, this person, let's say there's only one person there that is good at doing all this, right? Yeah. But he feels like he has to be paid for it. Everybody else is like providing their services. Like, let's say he has absolutely no idea how to, like, do sheetrock. Some guy comes on and says, hey, I need some roofing. I need you to help fix my converter or inverter. Yeah. Let's just do it this way. The needs of the community are met by the community. Nobody has to go outside of the community for anything, right? Let's just say that happens. Somebody's growing this, somebody's growing that. Somebody's got some chickens, somebody's got some cows, milk, whatever. Or maybe you don't drink milk. Fucking who knows? Somebody's growing apples, somebody's got pears. And it's just a community. Why is there money in this scenario? What is the need for money? Where does it arise from? It doesn't. There's no need. You can trade amongst each other. Hey, I have pears. You have apples. I'd like some of your apples. Would you like some of my pears? There we go. Yes, sure. No, I want money. Well, guess what? There's no money here. None of us have money. So what are you gonna do? Just sit there and hold your apples until someone with money comes along? What if we decide no one is allowed to come in there with money outside of anyway? No money. Just no money in our little community. None. And we have all the things that we want. Now, if you want to spend money, you go spend it where they take money, and maybe you can come back with the products that you bought with money, like your TV or your entertainment, whatever that may be. That you can go buy with money elsewhere, where that shit's allowed. But in our community, there's no money, no money allowed. You build your house from the ground up, scratch. No taxes, no banking, no money. Well, what's wrong with that? I think it would be awesome. I think people are brainwashed into believing that if you don't have money, you can't possibly live a meaningful, normal life. And you can. That's the wonderful thing about this country. It is 100% possible to do it that way. It's not possible to do it the way that everybody else has done it because it's not gonna work for you like that. You know, it's not meant to work for everybody. It never was meant for it to work like that for everybody. If everybody was able to be rich, then money would lose its value. It has to be held by a certain few. Because then they'll play with its value and make it worth something that it's not. Or, you know, tweak it to their advantages so that it works the way they want it to work. So they keep you chasing it while they hold all of it. I mean, how is the dollar worth anything? It shouldn't be worth not much at all, considering the fact that it's not really backed by any strength, rather than, well, I guess in the end, it's the one that matters. You know, they'll blow you up. Which, these are not bad noodles either. I like the firmness of the noodle, and I like the flat ramen noodles. They have like a nice riveting taste. Now listen. There was a time and a place that I was like most people. The dream that I had was the dream of working hard till I was 60 something fucking years old. And I was gonna put money into some stupid savings account, 401k or some bullshit, and then, you know, blah. Now here's the funny thing about it, right? It's like, everybody's always talking about investing or saving or whatever it is, right? They're always talking about this shit and how stupid I am that I don't. And then I see these same fucking idiot, stupid fucking people crying like little fucking babies when their savings are gone because of some investment they made. Or they held on to it, and whatever it was they wanted, they don't have, so now they spend it on some shit that they don't want. Or they make an investment in something, and it turns out that the company was a fraud, and they lose all this shit they saved, and they never spent it. So they never enjoyed it, you know. They never enjoyed it. They never did anything with it. They never had fun with it. They sat there and they saved it. And to me, when you do that, you just want to talk about how much of it that you're holding on to. Why would I want to do that? I know people are like, oh, that's stupid. That spending is dumb. Spending that way. Why would you do that? Because I'm living. That's why. What are you saving it for? Like, seriously, I'm just wondering. What are you going to do with it? What happens if you get sick? Or just die? And you have all this money saved. For what? That's all I'm saying. I just don't understand that. Like, if I had a whole bunch of money, like, let's say, for the sake of my little story here, let's say I came into $1 million, $1,000 billion, right? First things first, I know what everybody's thinking I'm gonna say. I'd pay off all my bills. Nope, I wouldn't pay off a fucking thing. I wouldn't give anybody shit that I owe money to. Why should I? I'm not going to. Not giving them shit. Where's my money? Where's my money? He gets nothing. Now, what will happen is I will buy myself a bunch of undeveloped land. Just land. It wouldn't be any particular land, wouldn't be commercial land, just land. And I would start to build upon this land small structures that would be habitable once, you know, some work was done. And each of these pieces of land that have these structures built upon them would be self-sufficient. Now, being vegetarian is self-sufficient, you know. You don't have to eat meat to survive. But I'm gonna eat things like eggs and fish and shit like that. I don't want to hear nothing from you. If your vegan ass goes in the water, they're gonna eat you. Okay? They're gonna eat you. They're not gonna feel sorry for you. And if they were smart enough to, I mean, look what the fuck dolphins do. And you're talking about humans are bad because, oh, we farm, you know, our food. Well, look at the way the goddamn dolphins corral food. It's kind of the same. I'm sure if they could control their fucking prey's breeding habits, they would. They probably do. We don't know that they don't. Last time I checked, we don't speak dolphin. Unless y'all know some shit that I don't. Like, there's somebody around here that's like, and like the dolphin speaks back to him. It's like, or maybe there's like a device that translates, you know, dolphin to English, and vice versa, which would be cool. Like, if you could talk to animals. Say to them. I know if I could talk to animals, what I would say to them. Like, once again, especially we can be cool and shit, like, I wouldn't want to be fucked up to them. Well, except for the mice. Because y'all are just overpopulated and shit. What's your fucking mouseness? Now, check this out, right? Boom. Here's what I'm thinking. Slabao. If I could talk to animals and we could be cool, I would ask them what their biggest fear was. Like, what are they afraid? What is their biggest fear in their lives? Like, what do they worry most about? What makes them scared? Now, I'm sure a squirrel would probably be like, shit, pretty much everything, man. Like, God, it's a terrible world for us. Stuff's trying to eat us. Fucking birds, electricons, these giant moving things. And of course, I'll be thinking about the squirrel saying this shit and be like, wow. It is very interesting how they describe our world. And you know what's cool about to me, what's cool, sorry, I'm off camera. What's cool about life is that you can take you can take things in so many different perspectives. And you end up with a different story each time. For instance, a lawn to a father or a man responsible for maintaining that lawn is not an adventure. It's a chore. It's also a talking point, a badge of pride. You know, for a man, they can have several different purposes. Now, from the perspective of a child, it's an imagination's playground. It could be anything. Swamp, a soccer field, whatever the fuck your mind comes up with. Now, from something that's extremely tiny, well, it can be seen as a fucking metropolis, a jungle world, a fucking crazy place. Because I mean, if you think about grass, it stands up, but some of it towards the bottom is crushed over. So where we think there might be light shining into the dirt, dark pockets, places where special, strange creatures hide. I was marching with the ants. A war with the beetle grubs had begun. Beetle grubs were eating all the vegetation that the ants needed. I had told them a way to draw the grubs from the ground, which is where the ants were losing the fight. The grubs would eat hundreds of them. And in the ground, the grubs were so fat that the damn ants couldn't get around them. I'm gonna make myself a cup of tea. Now, I want it to be understood, by everybody, that there are just some things that are best left alone. You're probably asking yourself, what the fuck is he talking about? Well, as soon as I get a tea bag and make my tea, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. No. What I'm talking about is the fact that it's 4 minutes to 12 o'clock. And we know what happens at midnight, don't we? Or have we forgotten? You know what else I wonder? Like, truly curious. Like, The racist people who don't live around other races hate them because of an experience, what they think, or is it simply they just don't want them to be there where they are? Because, hey, racist people, like, or bigots, whatever you want to call them, if that's what you are, you just don't want anybody else around you. I feel you on that, people. I feel you on that. I don't know why people hate people who don't want to be around other people. There shouldn't be anything wrong with that shit. Like, why should we have to deal with each other if we don't want to? Right? Hey, racists or bigots, as long as you don't want to hurt me, I'm okay with you hating me. You feel what I'm saying? I'm good with that. Like, we don't have to be friends. We don't even have to be anywhere near each other. And I'm not going to hate you for feeling that way. In fact, I love you for feeling that way. I know you don't want me around you. To me, that's being a lot more real and upfront and honest than the fucking fake fucks who pretend they like you because they want something from you, like some bullshit, something to gain. Not, they just want to be left alone. And they don't care about anything you have to offer. They don't want it. I don't see why that's such a problem. Why is having pride in one's people seen as racist? Or if I say, oh, black power, am I seen as an activist, so to speak? Whereas if somebody says white power, they're seen as a racist. It's double standards. It's double standards. And then if somebody will say, well, white people have all the power and all the privilege, so that by saying that, it's rubbing it in the face of the oppressed. When I hear somebody say white power, it doesn't make me feel oppressed any more so than when I walk into a store and immediately I'm asked 1,000,000 times if I need help. Those things don't make me feel oppressed. Those things make me feel judged. They're annoying and such. But maybe I've had a much different experience than most when it comes to, white people. Now, I guess for those, and I'm not trying to put anybody down with any of these statements I'm making, okay? These are just my own observations. Maybe those who see the white man as an obstacle or the rich man as an obstacle, trying to achieve something that maybe they don't particularly. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like, alright, perfect example. Let me tell you, don't follow the trend, set the trend. Don't do this, do that, blah, 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 blah. Right? That's this, Of course, they tell you these things so that they fit within whatever the agenda is that they have. And it's always be yourself, but by this, so you can be yourself better by representing it with our product. Okay, whatever. I mean, you could then modify said product, but then, like, what if somebody else likes your idea? Like, what if I find this really banging ass Nike shirt, right? It's got the logo, and somebody likes it, and they see something I've done to the shirt, and they like what I've done to the shirt, right? Perfect sweetness. Perfect sweetness. Like, back into the bigotry and racism shit. Like, it has gotten to a point where race is becoming extremely uncomfortable to discuss again. It's becoming that elephant in the room again. It's becoming that thing where when you walk into a room, that difference is noted again. You know what I'm saying? You remember how it was back in the days, you know, back basically in the 80s, and you would have those situations and moments where you would where you would you know, be dealing with that situation where you walk into the room and like you're the only black person and everybody looks at you, and your immediate thought in your mind is, oh my god, these people are prejudiced or whatever, just because they look at you. And taking psychology, I've learned that the only person usually thinking about your race in most cases is yourself. And that's not to say that that's true all the time. A lot of times, it's the second thought. The first thought when you come into a place that other people are in before you get there is, who is this person? They don't know you're black yet, or white, or whatever. They just know that somebody has started coming in the room. Now, you notice this as you come into the space that they're already in, and your mind perceives it as them looking at you because of who or what you are. You get what I'm saying? And immediately, you may feel put off, defensive, you know, any number of emotions which are pretty much invalid, because none of these things are usually true. Now, I said that to say that that doesn't mean it cannot become that after these people see who you are. But the thing is, they're not going to express that to you unless, of course, they don't like it. Usually it's going to be, I liken it to being the late to class. Everybody looks back, they see you, they turn around. If anybody has a lingering look, you can interpret that look to mean what you interpret it to mean. And it may not mean that at all. Like, maybe some girl is looking at you, what you may think is lustful, right? Oh, she's she's when in fact, she could be having a stroke or some other seizure type condition, which is locked her mouth in an open state, truly. My point is, things can be interpreted different ways, which is why communication between people is so important. It's extremely important because of the fact that people can, you know, fail to understand customs or, you know, any number of things. Any number of things. Now, believe it or not, after I'm done drinking my tea with you very soon, actually, probably before that. I'm just gonna take another bowl here for my peoples out there. And I'm gonna go to bed. I've got a very busy week. I've got a busy summer ahead of me. I've got a lot of plans. And I want to see these things come to fruition. And I know as long as I keep, plugging away at it, it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? I just have to keep going what it is that I'm doing. And not let anybody deter me from what I'm doing. Because if I let people deter me from what I'm doing, then the only person who is defeating me is myself. And I don't want to have that happen. Alright, everybody. As always, thanks for hanging out with your boy. It's always fun, chill with y'all. Just talk about whatever. If y'all want to chat back, by all means, go right ahead. I can change the latency so we can talk more responsibly. Still that time though. Remember, guys. Live your life like tomorrow might be the day that you are asked to come home, wherever that may be. Live like you only got one life, because you only got one life. And there is, in this life,